Claude Code is one of the most powerful tools I've ever used, and someone who's not a coder and doesn't come from a technical background, it's been amazing to see what I can do with it, and I want to kind of share that journey with you. Today I want to show you exactly like understanding Claude Code, understand how to download it, understanding what a terminal is. I want to talk about using Claude Desktop to build your project briefs and to kind of walk you through the journey. We're going to create our first N8N workflow specifically using Claude Code and the MCP server. And we're going to build our first local AI agent as well. I am not going to pretend I knew any of this a year ago. I'm very much kind of new to the AI and automation space and learning about coding. I'm also not going to pretend that I knew how to do all of this off the top of my head. I did most of it using AI. So I talk about the Claude Desktop app, and I used that to help me effectively give me instructions and walk me through the process. And I just want to show you that today because I don't claim to know everything. There's a few things that I definitely want to quickly cover off. I don't have enough time in this video to kind of go through all of the granular details of things, but it's kind of three areas that we're going to come across that I definitely didn't know existed and didn't really understand them to begin with. And it's taken me, kind of doing things and trying to build things to understand that. And the first one is like, what is a terminal and how a terminal works? And this is something that completely was new to me. And the best way that I can explain what terminal is imagine it's like your own. So I use a Mac, so I'm going to kind of just be saying the word Mac, but so my MacBook effectively having almost its own piece of software. And so like you can talk to your Mac, and that piece of software then has access to all your files and folders, and you can host things like locally. You effectively are giving it commands. So you're giving it tasks to do, and then it is executing those tasks. And there's things like, shell and, Node.js and those types of words, which again can sound really confusing and sometimes they are. But effectively we're going to be giving my MacBook or your operating system these commands that they're going to run. The second thing is an MCP server. So lots of, there's lots of content out there about MCP and what they are. And this is just a really, really quick explanation of that. So an MCP server is just allowing Claude Code to talk to all of your other systems and software that you're using. Think about your N8N account. It might be your 11 labs, it might be VAPI for voice agents, it might be Airtable. So it can talk to these systems and understand how they work, and then understand what they need from your automation or your workflow, so everything integrates. It's just imagine plugging in all this software into your MacBook and it knowing exactly what to do with it without having to you not having to do anything. The third thing is Node.js. So again, completely new to me this was. So, how Node.js works is that imagine you're writing all this JavaScript code, and this is all of your, lines of code that you've got, but then Node is the bit that then executes that code. So you could have all of this code, but no way of actually executing it and getting it to run and actually doing anything with it. And Node.js is what does that for you. In my understanding, I could be super wrong with all three of these, but this is just my own understanding of it. And so, hopefully that kind of helps. So there's kind of three key areas. What we're going to do in this video, so there's two things I want to build. So our first is to create an N8N workflow and an autonomous workflow, and we're going to get Claude Code to do that for us. And then what we're going to do is build our first local AI agent. So actually for the N8N workflow, we're going to do an email assistant, and then we're going to build our first local AI agent. It's going to be an AI cleanup agent. So the reason behind it is I've got loads of stuff on my laptop, old files, folders, duplicates, and actually what I want to do is have an agent that runs every single week and clears things up for me. So first of all, I want to show you the setup for Claude Code. So all we're going to do is I'm right here on the Claude Code docs page, and as you can see, additional dependency, we need Node.js. So that's the first thing we need. It only require, and this is what's going to be required. So what we want to do is head over to Node.js and we just install it. Super simple, and it kind of just does it. It will just work, and you'll be able to run it. So once you've downloaded that, we then want to go into our terminal, and in this case I'm on a Mac operating system, and this is the command I want to run. Now if I go into my terminal, and so you can see here, let's just bring this over. So I've already got Claude installed, so I'm not going to run the command, but you would effectively just put in your this installation here. You'd run that command within your terminal, press enter, and you would have Claude Code. In fact, you know what? I've already got it, but let's just try again. It might tell me that I can't do it. Let's see. Setting up Claude Code. Okay, here you go. So successfully, okay, there you go. Installation complete. So that was how quickly it was. I've already got it. So if I then go into Claude, I can then type Claude, and I can go like this, and it should run. And I can go yes, continue, and there we have it. So I have Claude Code really quickly, really simple. There we go. And I'm not going to do any more with this because you can put Claude into other, Visual Studio from Microsoft to see your code. You can put it inside Cursor as well and other systems, but we're just going to use Claude Code for this. So Claude Code is really simple to set up. And then of course there are lots of other commands within this, and you can go through and kind of play around with exactly what you need from this, and you can put in help, and you'll be able to see all the different commands you can run. But really, for the purpose of today, we're just going to do a few things. So if I go to MCP, as you can see, I've set up quite a few MCP servers in here. So I've got my Airtable, my 11 Labs, my N8N, my Pinecone, my Resend, and a VAPI MCP server, which means that Claude Code is now able to see and talk to all of those pieces of software and those applications, and it understands what they need from an automation that you're building or from an AI agent to function and work. Now, how I did this, I will show you exactly how this worked because I don't want to overcomplicate. I asked Claude Code how to do it. So I would say something like, let's think, how do I add the, how do I add the N8N MCP into Claude Code? And this is the way I've learned to do everything I have. So good shout. Adding in MCP to Claude Code will let you manage workflows directly from your terminal. Here's how to set it up. Run this to edit your MCP settings. Add the N8N MCP server. I've got my own N8N one there. Okay. So because I've already got it, let's just see if I can. Let's see. And I'm still very much learning this. Like, I'm no expert, and I don't want to claim that I am an expert in this because most of everything I'm learning is actually just questioning AI and doing things and just seeing what works. I'm not learning from anyone else. I'm literally just learning from doing. And I think that's important because there's a lot of people on YouTube that kind of just do this stuff off the top of their head, and it looks, they make it look so easy, and they're great, right? There's some amazing YouTubers that are doing this. For me though, I don't have that skill yet, so I'm trying to learn this as I go along, and I just find this the easiest way to to learn is to do. So what we've got here, so you can see. We've got a bunch of examples. Claude MCP, add MCP servers to Claude Code. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, you can see it gives you some stuff here, some information. The other thing that I think is you can look at, and what I found quite helpful, was going to I think it was 11 Labs. See, get the official 11 Labs MCP server. So if you go to GitHub, there'll be loads of these, and because I don't know a massive amount around GitHub and how it works and kind of interpreting all this, but I would go into Claude and I'd say, help me add this MCP, put the link in, and it would check the repo for the exact setup instructions because it would be able to, it's fetching that from GitHub. And there you go, get your 11 Labs API key, grab it from 11 Labs. There's a free tier, so it tells you exactly what to do. And then you can run this command. So all I would do is run that command on the terminal, but I'd put in my API key here. And I can even go and show you what that looks like. I've got an 11 Labs API key. So once I'm logged in, I should be able to see. I'm just trying to find the API key. I can't remember where they keep it now. Developers, here you go. Here you go, and that's my API key there. So I've already set it up. You can create a new one. You can copy the key ID, and then all you would do is run this command in your terminal. Let's bring up my terminal again. And then I would put your API key here. So I just copy that key and put it into the command, and it would do it for me. Now I suggest doing this for as many applications as you want, or the main ones that you use, just because it's a lot easier to start building things when when Claude understands what it's building. It understands context, it understands what that particular application needs from you. So one of the things I would, when you're playing around with this, just try and think, don't worry that you don't know, because if you get any large language model, will be able to help you kind of walk through this process, because that's exactly how I did it. So now we have our Claude Code set up. Now we can start to do it. So I've just come out there, so I'm going to start one up again. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is building a project brief. So what we want to do, let's start a new chat. And what we want to do is we want to create a project brief using Claude, and Claude is going to create that brief, and then Claude Code is going to be able to read that brief directly from our Mac, from our desktop, basically. So let's think. Let's go create me a project brief for Claude Code to build me an email assistant. One of the easiest things one of the best hacks I've got is get a whisper flow. It's an app that you can use to talk into, and you can do prompts a lot quicker because you can just talk straight into your mic and it will pick things up. I can't do it now because I'm using my mic to talk. So create me a project brief for Claude Code to build me an email assistant in NA10 that categorizes emails based on importance. So what we're going to do is, this is then going to create a project brief in what I believe is called a .md file. And this is going to allow Claude Code to ingest that and start to read the full document. So what we've got here, creating a project brief. So project brief, NA10 email, here we go. You can start to see it's building out everything. It's building out the JSON AI prompts templates it's got. Okay, cool. So it's just doing all the nodes that we need, error handling. You can start to see how quickly you can build automation or start understanding automation. There's still always going to be a need for a human in the loop in this, because it won't be perfect first time. You need to adjust things. But this will get you something that's pretty good pretty quickly. The time in which now it's taking, to build things is just getting quicker and quicker and quicker. So here's your project brief. Okay, cool. So we can actually open this in Visual Studio Code. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to go into that right now. But what we're going to do is we're going to download this. It's email assistant brief.md. Okay, we're just going to copy that and we're going to save that. So that's our brief. So now what we want to do is, when we bring up our please view this project brief. Okay, so now we need to just delete all this. So please view this project brief. So if I go to my downloads, which are over here, email assistant brief.md. Okay, so what we can see is this full brief is just, because I've double clicked on it, I'll show you what it looks like. So it's this, it's just come up in, you can see all of this. It's a full, basically project all ready to go. We're going to come out of this and we're just going to copy this. And we're going to go back into our terminal. And we're going to see if that just copies over. Please view this project brief, because what we've done is we've copied exactly where we are. So where the file is sitting, and basically it's in our downloads. It's able to read that, and it's going to start going through that now. And it's going to hopefully pull everything through. So here we go. So what we've now got is it's just kind of summarized everything for us. So we've got build an N8N workflow that automatically categorizes incoming emails into 4 importance levels using AI. Urgent, important, normal, low priority, trigger, Gmail, yeah, pre-processing, strip HTML structures, check VIP contacts list, AI classification. Okay, cool. I'm just going to go for it. Build this workflow. Cool, and it'll start doing it for me because it will now understand everything within N8N. It will understand the nodes. It will understand how things piece together. So what it will just start doing this now. And then what I'll be able to do is once it's done, I'll be able to show you the N8N, my N8N account, and I'll be able to show you the workflow there ready to go. Okay, so we've now got a pretty, so, Claude Code's done its thing. It's created the workflow. I haven't looked at it yet to see, but what we've got here is before activating configuration required. So we just need to put in some Okay, so we just need to put in some examples, VIP domains and VIP contacts, which is great. We can do that. And then a 4-tier importance classification. So it says, would you like me to create a Google Sheets template for VIP contacts or help you configure any of the nodes? So I think we're pretty good. I'm not going to go too much into it. So what I'm going to do is come to N8N. I'm going to sign in. Let's have a look to see what we've got. Email importance classifier created on the 22nd of January. And there we have. So there we have the very the very basics of an email classifier that we can start to now play around with. Now, again, this isn't massively this isn't going to work out the box because there are a few things that we've not done. So we could go into that and say, on the project brief, it obviously had a Slack alert, but I don't use Slack. So, if you don't use Slack, or if you don't want to use OpenAI as an AI classification, or you don't have Gmail. So there are things that need to be tweaked, but considering that this only 6 months ago would have probably taken an hour, maybe 2 hours to build, it's now given you the skeleton of an automation that, it can and it will be functional and it will work. So I'm just going to go through it and try and understand it a bit more because we've got a node here. So that goes in Gmail trigger every minute. And then we've got a merge node. So I kind of want to understand the merge labeled. Okay, so I kind of want to understand the merge node a bit more. Google Sheets. So I'm trying to understand a bit more around the merge results, and I assume that's because it says number of inputs 2, but why have I got? So I'm not quite sure why all this is going up here to merge results and then log to Sheets. But again, I'm not going to go into it today. I'm not going to go into this. This is just more as an example that you can go from having no understanding of automation and no understanding of AI and coding in terminals to then having something like this that is, literally within 10 minutes it's built you. And all of that process is so quick, and this is what I think, and where I believe AI is changing things so rapidly, is just how quickly it takes to get something working. And this could go into production, right? I could spend another 20 minutes on this. I could prompt Claude Code to get this working and in production, and I could turn it on and it would work and it would do its thing. There's obviously lots of things in there, but the prompting, the AI classification, the route by importance, the log, I've got to go create a Google sheet to do that, and everything to track everything. But fundamentally, it's taken 10 minutes to do, and all I then have to do is spend another half an hour kind of making sure it looks good, and within 40 minutes I can have a working automation or an AI automation. So that's kind of one example of this. The next thing I want to kind of go through and kind of have a conversation about is creating our first local AI agent. Now, I've never done this before, so I am doing this, and I'm going to do the same process, but I've never done this before, and I'm going to just see what happens. So I am going to go back into Claude here. I'm going to start a new chat, and I'm going to say I want to build my first local AI agent in Claude Code that can run weekly and clean up my MacBook Pro. I want it to delete old files and folders, duplicates, etc. Please create me the project brief and anything else I need to know. Okay, so I've never done this before, so this is completely new to me now, and we're going to just go through it together. Man, my spelling. Claude, duplicates. Cool, let's just go. Let's just do it. So here we go. Let's see. A local AI agent build Claude Code that runs weekly to automatically clean up your MacBook Pro by identifying and removing old files, duplicates, and unnecessary clutter. Core functionality, old file cleanup, command cleanup targets, downloads, desktop trash, library. Safety features, always preview what will be deleted before execution. Okay, that's quite cool. Exclusion lists, protect important directory files. Okay, so this will be really interesting because on my desktop, I actually have if I can bring it into shot, I've got this folder, which is my wedding photos. So I'm actually going to leave that on my desktop and just see what it does. So let's see, technical architecture. So here we go. Look, I don't know any of this, by the way. Like, if you're looking at this going, what the hell? I'm also looking at this going like, what? Configuration examples. Okay, sure. Weekly scheduling. Okay, option 2. Again, like don't feel like I necessarily need to know that. This gives you a working foundation to build on incrementally. Option 2, option 1, right. Okay, this is cool. I like this. 0 accidental deletions. Okay, runs unattended every Sunday. Okay, send summary report optional. Okay, cool. Yeah, want me to create the initial Python scaffold? Yes, I want you to create this so I can give to Claude Code. Please ensure the safety. I definitely want to ensure the safety features. Please ensure safety features. And I want it to send me a report every week. Okay, cool. Here we go. I'll create the complete project scaffold for you. Let me first check the docs skill for the best way to package this and then build out all the files. Okay. I'll create the complete project as a Python files that you can hand to Claude Code. Let me build this out. Okay, here we go. So I like to put my hands up and say I'm not actually doing anything because I do think it's quite I think AI is mad when it comes to coding now. Like have gone from no idea about coding to actually kind of understanding it within such a short space of time, within the last 2 years. And I think it's because I don't need to understand it now, because AI is going to get so good at it. And like, challenge me in the comments if I should understand all these lines of code, right? And what I should be looking for, and challenge me on that, because I just feel like I don't need to. If this is going to build me exactly what I need and it works, and there's obviously a security issue with this, right? And where I get that completely. But from building just a proof of concept and like helping, and people that are non-techies going to building stuff, you can just do it so quickly now. So yeah, like I say, I've never done this before. I've never built my own local AI agent. I wanted to do this kind of on the video, because I think it's important to see how I work and my methodology. And actually, it's not that complicated. I just get AI to kind of help me do everything, right? I'm always asking AI for help. Like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with this? And then the more I do that, the more I find I understand and learn anyway, because it will give me tips and advice, and I'm learning that consistently. Still going. Okay, so we've now completed it. Claude has given me a full project, as you can see. It's done. It's created complete project as Python files. It's now created empty directories and set up script. Let me verify and structure and zip it all up into a zip folder. It says done. The complete project is ready to download and hand to Claude Code. What's included? Okay, so we've got entry point, scans, duplicate detection, HTML reports plus email, all your preferences. Okay. Safety features be in, dry run on by default, 7-day staging folder before permanent deletion, never touch files that are less than 7 days old, full exclusion system for protected paths, complete logging. To get started, okay. Okay, so it says then configure your email in. Okay, so I don't know whether to put this in. Okay, do I put the bash script in Claude Code or just the terminal? Just run it in your regular terminal on your Mac, not in Claude Code. Here's the flow. Unzip it wherever you want. Open terminal and run. Right, okay. So download. I am going to put it somewhere else. I feel like, let's call it AI cleanup agent. Create, save. Right, so now, okay, cool. Right, so let's run this. Oh, I see. Wait, because it's not, the bash script is wrong because I've saved it in a different place. Let me just quickly work out. So it's in downloads. So the script, so my AI cleanup agent, does that change the bash script? I think it does. I just want to make sure. People are probably watching this thinking, Joe, of course you don't change it, or you do change it. No, that's fine. The bash script will still work. The script uses, which means it figures out its own location automatically, regardless of what you name the folder. Just run. Okay. The only thing to watch is you'll need to either escape project. Oh, you know what? Let's just run it. So let's exit. Let's come out of this. I'm just going to start this fresh just so we can see it. No such file directory. Okay. AI. Okay, so it says no such file. The folder path is wrong. Let's find where you actually saved it. Run this in terminal. This will search your home folder. Alternatively, if you know roughly where it's down, okay, yeah, but it's in my downloads. Here, I'm gonna just do this. Look, I've literally just done that, and I'm gonna give this. Okay, run this. There you go. Setup operation not permitted. Okay, cool. So open systems or system preferences and go to privacy and security, full disk access. If you work in security right now, I'm sure you're saying don't do this, but I'm doing this because it's the only way I know how to learn. Right, here you go. Terminal, there you go. Put my fingerprint in. Right, okay. So terminal. Okay, here we go. Whoa. Warning. However, right. Okay. Set up complete. Next step. Edit config settings to customer direction rules. Run. Right. So again, not actually sure what I'm doing. I'm just going to say setup complete. And I'm going to go, what's next? Nice one. Now run the dry run, see what it finds. This will scan your downloads, desktop, and documents folder and show you what would be cleaned up without actually deleting anything. After it finishes, checks the HTML report. Okay, cool. So it's actually scan. Oh wow, look, okay. Don't know if you can see this, but it's found checking 1,589 files. Found, yeah, I got a lot of folders and a lot of files. Okay. Found 582 size groups with potential duplicates. This is quite cool. Like, I've never built any of this before, and this is something that I've wanted to do for ages, and I just haven't had the time to clean up my Mac. So actually building something to do this for me, yeah, I'm like really like this could work, right? And this just goes to show, like, again, I've got no coding experience, and I'm building this as I go along. I'm literally showing you how I do it and the process. Okay, so it's done so I think, so now I just need to work out, okay, so I'm going to give this back to Claude and say, this is what it returns. It's working. It's currently checking for duplicates, which can take a few minutes. Okay, cool. So it's still running. Okay, let it run. You'll see it finish with steps 4, 5. Oh, okay, right. I see. Yeah. Okay, because it says 4 or 5 here. I didn't see that bit. So it needs 5 of 5. Let it run. You'll see it finish with steps 4 and 5 and 5 and 5, and then generate the report. While you wait, the early results show 6,982 files scanned, 0 old files, none over 90 days. Okay. 45 large files worth reviewing, 582 potential duplicate groups. This is where you might recover space. Open reports, then open the HTML file to see the full breakdown with the path file sizes. If you want to catch more old files, you could lower the thresholds. But wait for the scan to finish so you can, okay, cool. Okay, so we're still on step 4 or 5 on this agent. It's taken a long time because we're having to hash over 1,500 files. Claude says this will take around 5-10 minutes, but we've already been going for a little bit longer than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control C. So I'm going to stop the run so you can see. So I'm going to go Control C. Here we go. Okay, and then I'm going to run this. So I'm going to go, okay. Here we go. So generating report, errors. Okay. Okay, I think because we've obviously ended it early, I mean, there's so many files on here. It's not obviously giving me any data because we haven't done it all. But I do want to, so now what I want to do, so what I'm thinking about doing, so if this is running every Sunday, which is then set up, I want like an interface for it. I want to see some UI. I'm quite a visual person, so I'm thinking like, so how do we change this into an app that has some decent UI? Okay. Quick web UI, easiest. Add a simple Flask Streamlit interface that runs locally in your browser. I can build this for you. Would take about 30 minutes in Claude Code. Quick to build, looks decent, runs in browser. Cons, have to start from terminal each time. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's do option 1. Let me create a Streamlit UI for the cleanup agent. Okay. You can see how you go down such a rabbit hole with this stuff. You know, once you start building, and this is what's going to happen to me really, like when we speak to companies, we're doing this and we're building these things for companies, or even just automation workflows, you go down this massive rabbit hole of coding and building things and talking to AI and doing things for you. And, you know, actually you can have a good UI and maybe this can be an app. And then you come up with all these ideas and you think, oh, maybe you could charge people for it, you know, build your own SaaS product. And that's kind of the rabbit hole I'm going down at the moment. I really enjoy it though. Like since I've become, I definitely feel like I'm way more technical than I was 2 years ago. But you know, as someone that just never thought any of this was possible, and I would never have, in a million years thought this was possible. I'm really happy like with, you know, where things are and how good technology is, right? And we can do stuff like this, and you know, to have all this up on the screen and say that you've, you know, did your own AI agent. Okay, yeah, with the help of AI and Claude. Right, so it says, let's download both files and put them in your MacBook Cleanup Agent folder. Then run, this will open a browser UI that looks like this. Okay, right. So it says app, requirements, download all, okay. Let's just save, okay. Right, and then download and put them out. Then run this. I genuinely am half expecting my MacBook to just blow up or be hacked or something. Oh yeah. Successfully installed. Okay. Right. I'm going to copy all of this because that is terrifying and I don't really know what it is. Stream it install, but it's not on your path. Run it this way instead. Oh man, I'm taking orders from invalid, does not exist. Again, I'm just literally copy and pasting everything into Claude. The app file isn't in your folder yet. You need to download it from above and add it either option 1. What is going on? I'm so confused. So hang on a minute. Download. Oh, I thought I downloaded it. Oh, do you know what? Right, download that. Save. Download that. Right, save. We've then got okay, I think this is everything I need. It's all in this folder. So let me just show Claude what I'm doing. Talk about vibe coding, right? Okay, drag the app. Okay, but the cleaner fix folder and find them. Right, okay. Welcome to Streamlit. If you'd like to receive helpful onboarding emails, news, offers, leave this blank. Whoa. Okay. Local host. Right, so we've got our dashboard up here, but it's not really AI powered necessarily. It's just a script. It's just an automation. We've built it with AI, but I want to integrate like proper AI into it and make it a real AI agent. So we've got here on Claude, I was just asking some questions like what features to add. So let's make a real AI agent. Here's what I'll add. And this is quick questions. Yeah, I need my Anthropic API key. So if I go in here, I should be able to do this. I mean, I'm really happy with where we've come so far. We've gone from hold up. Yeah, we've gone from concept idea in my head to an automation that's working. We have a dashboard for that automation, and now we want to just embed some AI into it. So let's just see if we can do this. Let me just go into my Gmail over here. Right, here we go. So it's just signing in so I can get an API key. Oh, for flip's sake. Get API key. Yes. Okay. Well, hang on a minute. To call that you'll need an Anthropic API key. Do you have one, or do you want me to option A, use your API key? Build it with Olama free. Okay. Option C, use a Claude Chat artifacts approach. Option A, for sure. Option A. I'll create an AI-powered version of the app. You'll need to add your Anthropic API key. Right, okay. What's really interesting is that we haven't yet really used Claude Code for this. This is just the Claude Desktop app. So I'm not 100% sure on when this should switch over and when we start building this in Claude Code. And maybe I'll ask, but at the moment I've not actually used, I mean, I'm using the terminal to just run local automations and local scripting, but I haven't yet used Claude Code to do this. So I don't know, maybe someone can know in the comments, let me know. And if actually I need to be using Claude Code, or I need to switch this over to be better, but at the moment it's the Claude Desktop app is doing this. Okay, so I've created an AI-powered version of the app. You'll need to add your Anthropic API key. Download both files, replace the ones in your MacBook Cleanup Agent folder, then run. What's new? Get your API key from the console. Yeah, paste it in the sidebar when the app loads. Cost is roughly per analysis. Okay, so we've got download. Save, replace. Okay, that's good. Requirements, download, save. Then it should say replace. Good. And then it says, okay, so let's run this then. Download the files and place ones in your MacBook. Claude analyzes your files and tell you what's safe to delete with risk ratings. Ask questions like what's eating my disk space. Okay, cool. So actually now, get your API key, paste in the sidebar when the app loads. For better. Okay, so hang on a minute. I'm just trying to work this out, what's going on. So I'm not actually sure. Okay, so I'm getting a bit confused here now. Okay, so what's new in AI features? Oh, I don't understand how. Then run, download both files and replace ones in your MacBook. Okay, fine. Then run. Am I running this in? Right, I'm going to get rid of this. Terminate. There we go. Enter your API key to enable features. Okay. Oh, okay. API key set. Chat with AI. Run a scan first, then come back to your chat. Okay. Run a scan first to see file details. Okay, so now we've got AI within the app, which is good. So let's go back to here. So AI recommendations. Claude analyzes your files and tells you what's safe to delete with risk ratings. Ask questions like what's eating my disk space. Okay, cool. So chat tab. Let's do find old video files. So if we go here, you have to run a scan first. Done. Okay. All right. Okay. Ask ChatGPT. Ask Google. Right. Not 100% sure what any of this really means, if I'm honest with you. I'm just playing around. Old files. Okay, so we're getting somewhere with it. So I'm going to get this. So I'm going to screenshot this. And actually before that, I'm going to ask this, because one of the things I was asking is like, we are building this all in Claude Desktop. Is it better to build in Claude Code? I'm just interested. I'm curious to know why. Yes, Claude Code is better for this kind of project. Okay. Anyway, for this, we've been doing a lot of back and forth. It says file not found. I guess the path in Claude Code, I would just open your project folder, edit files directly. Oh, for goodness sake. So this whole time, right. Sack this off. Go into Claude. Oh, you know what? Don't even know what I'm doing right now. So go into Claude. Yes, continue. Right. Okay, so we're back in it. Right. I don't really understand sometimes, because I wanted to do this in Claude Code as part of the video, but Claude Desktop was doing it relatively quickly. So did I make a mistake there and I should have then done it in Claude Code? I'm not sure. But I'm now in Claude Code doing it. So anyway, look, we got regardless, I probably maybe could have done this quicker. Someone else probably done it quicker. This is just part of the process, right? Going through this and making mistakes and showing people the mistakes I'm making. Okay, so I'm just going to move this down. Current implementation. The project appears fairly complete. Bug fixes. Let's do bug fixes with chat to AI. Okay, let's just see. I'm really just kind of seeing now. I'm playing around with it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, so we've gone into Claude Code. It's cleaned up a load of stuff for me. It's found a few errors and a few problems. So we've now used Claude Code to just kind of go through everything, clean bits up, and you can see it's ran a fair amount here. I'm not going to spend ages doing this because I could go and spend hours and hours trying to do this, right? So I just want to show kind of what it says. The app is running. Open your browser. Okay. So we can enter the Anthropic. Let me create a new key. Just do test. Add. And just copy that over to AI cleanup. Press enter. Okay. Okay, it's coming back the same. So there's loads of little bugs in this, right? And I don't think this is right because it's definitely not true. 46 large files. I mean, we've got a lot more, I think, that needs to be played around. We can actually change things here. Older than, let's do like 30. Let's do 30 days. Yeah, it's coming back the same. It's coming back the same. So yeah, there's some bugs in here, but the point, like, I wanted to make with this video is that we can kind of build things now, with Claude and Claude Code. Even the desktop version got as far as we did, and then we headed over to Code, after kind of me realizing actually why we're not doing this in Code and kind of saying, hang on a minute, but that's building, right? So now we've put it over to Claude Code. It's fixed a few bugs and things, but there's still loads more to go through. If we look at here, chat with AI, what's safe to delete? Here you go, thinking. So we can actually see our agent now working. We've got AI built into it, which is great. So obviously there's a cost associated with that as well. Based on your scan results, you have 0 cache files currently, so nothing here. Looking at your largest files, all MP4, these could be safe to delete if you no longer need them. These look like screen recordings, be careful with. Sounds like active work. Okay, cool. So it's giving me some stuff, but I don't think it's pulling through everything. So it's giving me desktop needs editing, desktop AI complexity. This was actually a YouTube video script, which is interesting. Start by reviewing these. Okay, cool. So again, like I'm really I'm proud of this because I'm impressed with this because we've been able to go from idea using Claude Code, idea in my head, to getting something that's working in the background, using some scripting, using automation, and then using AI to validate some things and actually give you some kind of information back on it, which I'm really happy with. So like ultimately, like this video is just showing you that someone with like no coding knowledge like myself, who doesn't have a massive tech background, you can go and build things and you can go and start playing around with things. And that's the best way to learn with this kind of stuff. When we're building this for clients, right, we go down such a rabbit hole because we realize there's so much you can build with AI now. Even little things that you can, automate or use AI to help a business be more efficient. And this is kind of what happens. So, but yeah, I just wanted to do this video, kind of share my process and how I work and how I build things and how I've learned over the last few years and how you can get to, building things in a relatively short space of time. This video, was a long video, but not that long really. It's this, we're running at probably an hour and a half nearly. But you won't see an hour and a half because I'll cut loads of stuff out. But, that just goes to show, right, from start to finish, we're able to do this. And obviously at the beginning of the video as well, we had the NA10 workflows, which is also just a game changer. But I also think doing this as well, building your own stuff is important. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I've probably got loads of stuff wrong. I've probably done things really inefficiently. There's quicker ways to do things, but you know what? That's all part of the learning curve, right? With this and with AI and automation. So yeah, let me know what you think. And yeah, if there's other videos you want to see like this of me just kind of tinkering around and building stuff, like let me know, and I'll get recording. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and hope this helps.